window here. It is Thursday, and we're gonna do some stuff today. We're gonna work on this endeavor a little bit more, show you what we're doing. The last time we was here, I welded this on. I still got a little bit of cleaning up to do, and I still didn't find, this is not the color of paint that it's supposed to be. Just a mixture of a couple cans that I had, laying around or whatever. I got to clean a little bit of junk off the door, and then, clean the thing up a little bit more. But yeah, this is, probably going to be good enough to run the mail, right? Anyways, what we're going to do today, as this is going to run the mail, some drivers, they use, some people spend a lot of money for a right-hand drive. You see the steering wheel's on the left hand. But what we're going to do is something different. Driver's education cars, they have they have pedals on both sides of the car. And that's what we're going to do to this. See, we got here, we got a floor. Looks like a completely normal floor. What we're going to do to that, let's see this right here. Oh, that assembly right there, well, that's going to give us a gas pedal and a brake pedal. Anyways, I'm going to gather up some tools. First, I want to thank you for stopping by and seeing me today. I hope you enjoy the music it plays. As much as my goal to work on my projects. Hope I'll get to my old stuff soon as I get a few more of these mail vehicles done, is to share music. Some of it's my own, some of it's other people from all over the world. It's a unique opportunity for you guys to listen to music that you otherwise might not ever hear. But anyways, I'm going to gather some tools, and we'll be back with you in just a minute. First thing you want to do is to get in here, sit in the car, and you want to put your pedal to where it's going to be kind of out of the way, somewhat, so as if you're driving other people around, they can put their feet in the car and their stuff, and they're not going to get into the pedals or whatever. And you want to try to you want to place it to where you want to get your pedal height and your gas pedal height the same height as on your driver's side, because you kind of want to replicate that feel as much as you can. So once you have it, see, that's pretty good. You want to make sure it's your feet. On this side, you have this plastic panel. You want to make sure that your gas pedal is far enough away from that. But you have room to put your feet in there. Because if these people delivering mail, in their car, they're in their car from 6 to 10 hours a day, sometimes longer on the holidays. And so if you're going to drive that long, you need to at least be halfway comfortable. So I got my stuff sitting right here, and so the pedal looks pretty good right there. So then next, which I don't have with me, and I'll be right back, I'm going to grab a marker. Alright guys, I got my marker. I'm going to go down here and mark a couple of these holes. This plate, this brake system is it's from Fat Brake. Basically, it's a driver's education model or whatever. This company, they're located in Canada, and you have to order this stuff online. But anyways, I marked me a couple holes here on the carpet. Mark me a couple holes because you want, basically your pressure on this. Your pressure on this is all from your foot. It's always going to be down, but you don't want the thing going anywhere. For your own safety and whatnot. Alright, so I got my holes marked here. That's where I hope I can put the thing, which I figure I can, because the very first thing you do, which I didn't show you do this, is you gotta look underneath of the car to make sure that there's no fuel lines, brake lines, or anything like that, right in the way, because we have to drill some holes so we can mount that plate to the floor. But then some cars, you know, every car is made different, and every car is made different. So we gotta check out down here. Got to see, because some cars actually have a computer control system or wiring and something that runs right through here. So we want to get that off. Most cars now, get in here, screwdriver. You know, be kind of gentle. Pry around on it a little bit. Most things are just, a lot of cars now, rather than being bolted together, everything's kind of snapped together as much as anything else. You find the snaps, you get one end started, the other end, and work your way around. There, we got that out of the way. And once we get this panel out of the way here, it just pops off, fortunately. Lay these pieces out of the way. And I'll get this interior panel. These little screws like that. Get a screwdriver in one end, just pull on it, and, you know, work the way out, and, you know, pull the thing out. Some of them will definitely fight you. So you got your side panel off. We'll get him out of the way and lay him over here. Put these things in the cup holder so you don't lose them. Now we can take our carpet. Pull it back. And as you can see there's nothing down here but this rubber piece. Well, we got to know what's under this rubber piece, don't we? Because we just want to make sure, you know, we can drill through the rubber piece, but we want to make sure there's no wiring in there. So then you get to figure out how this is made. Some other kind of clippy here. All right, guys, I hit these little plastic doohickeys. I got some pliers, whatever, grabbed on one end of it and just pulled the thing out. And they just kind of lock on there. I don't want to tear all this stuff out of here. So I lifted up this styrofoam piece, grabbed a hold of the corner of this, and just pulled it back enough to where I can look in here to the area. Well, I'm going to set this thing, and I'm looking underneath of there, and fortunately there is absolutely nothing there but metal. Okay, so we are good to go. So I'm going to get these plastic things, just push them back on to where they came from. I got another one up here. We can set that back down. Put our carpet back in place to where it's going to go. Now I could, at this point, you know, I could put this stuff back on, but you guys probably don't need to watch that. Don't want to watch that. So what we got to do now is, I already know, because I've crawled underneath the thing, that there are no holes, or there's no wires, or nothing under this. I'm going to go to open area on the other side. So hopefully we got a good drill bit. guys, I got my holes drilled. Yeah, get my plate. Got myself. I'm going to use some vehicles. I will use a nut and bolt on the other side if I'm able to do that. I have a big open area like that, and I can get a couple screws in or whatever. Sometimes I'll use self-tappers or lag bolts, but I don't want them to back out, so I'm going to use a steel washer and then a lock washer or whatever. You know, the combination, all that stuff should keep these guys in there, and I'm gonna anchor it at 3 points, so we should be good. Let's get her drill back out. Now nothing's ever easy, all right? Get a drill. Alright, be back with you here. It's just different enough that it's not pulling through the hole. I don't understand why. It should be just about as big as the hole. To figure out what the deal is, I'll be back with you. All right, guys, our basic deal was our lag bolts simply weren't long enough to go down to the other end of the floor, so I went and found some new longer ones. We got that thing securely mounted in 3 places. Now we're gonna go walk over to the driver's side and see what's going on there. So what we have here on this side, you see we got your gas pedal and your brake pedal. How are we going to connect over what we did over there to over here? Well, basically what this system uses is cables. And here's a big semi. Woo! They really need to be that loud, don't they? No, they do not need to be that loud, but they don't care, loud and proud and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, what we have here, this is run by cables. This pulley right here, we're going to mount this to the firewall somewhere to run to the brake pedal. And we have this little pulley here. We're going to mount this somewhere underneath the gas pedal. And basically the ideal thing with this is you want, since it's a cable, you know, it's like kind of like a motorcycle cable or something like that, or a cable on your bicycle. It's a little bit better. I mean, the easier rate they have to run through, you don't want your cables bound up or anything like that. You want to get the smoothest transition that you possibly can have, so that you get, a good brake feel. Because if you're on the other side of the car, well, you're going to want your brakes, aren't you? Especially since your emergency brake on most cars is on the driver's side. Sometimes you get lucky and they're in the center console, but we're not at that today. So here's what we're gonna do. We gotta take this side panel off. Get my screwdriver and be right back with you. All right, get our panel off here. Get our panel off here just so we can see what we're doing. So we're gonna have to run the cables from the other side. These little plastic clips, just get the screwdriver underneath there, pull out on the clips, and the tabs just pull right back out, just like we did the other one. Put them in the cup holder or something, and toss your piece to the side where you can, step on it and whatnot, because it's important. All right, now we review the other side when we get there. Okay, so now what we're looking for places to mount this. And basically you want to keep, a brake pedal as it travels down, it kind of heads back towards the firewall. So, or if we had something that came off of the firewall, that would give us our best pull. Because you don't want the pulley. If you had the pulley down here, then it's trying to pull the pedal down. Now, that's going to be a lot harder on the cable. You want it to pull back. Again, this is the radius, flow, whatever. You want it like water in the stream. You want it to flow as good as possible. It tears up the banks. So we're going to get in here and look back. And we'll go ahead and pull this off on this side too. Just to make it easier, we'll pull the carpet back. Pull the carpet back just so we can make sure we're not going to tear anything up. Most of the time I do this for my wife being a mail carrier, but sometimes I have done it for other people. Of course, when I'm doing it for other people, well, it's, their life is in my hands. So, I try to keep as safe as I can, right? All right. So we'll get our carpet down out of here. See what we got going on. Oh. A little pull-out thing here on the brake pedal. There. Oh, see that right there, guys. I'll get you down here. Show you what I just found. There. See how that's right behind that? Okay. So, we are going to mount our gas pedal right there. Fits that. We're gonna have a nut and bolt the damn thing on. There. Alright, so we got that. We'll get down here and look and see what we can find here for the brake pedal. We want him to come back. Oh! Get this piece out of here. See what we got hiding. Alright guys, what we decided on, you can see that missing nut there. I think I'm going to mount the little pulley that operates the brakes or whatever. We're going to mount it right there, and I think that'll work out. Okay, and then over here, screw that bolt that's sticking out there. That's where we're going to mount our gas. So anyways, we'll get those things mounted on there, and I'll show you what they look like. I wanted to share this with you guys. If you guys like older vintage cool stuff, I was at an auction friend Billy Goebel or whatever had a couple weekends ago, hell, maybe last weekend. Anyway, I got 4 of these things, and here's 2 of them. I need to get a metric nut. I needed to get the metric nut there to put on the little thing for the gas pedal, because there wasn't anything there, because it just had the little plastic push-on thingy. But it is threaded. Anyway, this roller kit. I don't know when these were popular. I think 1980s or something like that. But anyway, see this size of thing? Here's one of the other one. This is machine screws, right? See all this stuff? This shit just unrolls. Unrolls and it's got all this stuff out there. Huh? I gave $5 for that. Huh? What a bargain. I mean, you couldn't buy one of those compartments for $5. Well, maybe the ones there in the center were just a couple of them. Anyway, that's how this works. We'll push that. Unrolling. Oh, we got some bolts. Kind of like dominoes right here. You know what? How much? Another $5. So we can look through here, and I don't think it's that small. Ooh. Maybe we'll get lucky with this one right here if we get the right thread pitch. If not, I've parted out a few. I've had a few RX-7s. And so when I've had them, Not taking stuff off. Anytime I take anything apart, if I don't have to reuse all the bolts, we'll take that guy too, because that, you know, we just need one bolt. Anyways, we're gonna go over here. GoPro, now it's flipping around. You can see there, I got that mounted. Right there. It may be pointing the right direction, the wrong direction. I'm not really too sure about that. And we're gonna come down here. That bolt there, we'll get this guy mounted on that. Back to get that situated. You see right here, it's even labeled RX7 nuts. It means this is automotive stuff. Most of the stuff should be machine thread. If any luck, we can find us one little screw on here. Got my first two picks here. Oh, first one's too small. Hey, second one. Oh, it has a bolt on it. Oh. So get him loose. There we go. Maybe we'll be lucky with that. All right, trial number 2, people. We got one that works. All right, we're gonna start our gas. I know you guys can't see the second, but I'll show you in just a minute. Oh, this recording stuff all the time. Eventually I'll figure out how to get cameras down here and do that. I got a GoPro that I bought on eBay that I've had absolutely nothing but problems with it. We'll get him fired up. And with all likelihood, that's gonna be a 10mm. Because like I said, you know, a lot of Japanese stuff, 10mm. That's a super duper popular nut size. So I have 10 different 10mm inches. Sometimes I can only find one of them. It's just the way life goes sometimes. I mean, I suppose it is possible to have too many tools, but I have not reached that point yet. Oh. I see lots of these other channels and whatnot, guys using lots of, you know, battery powered impacts and all that kind of stuff. And well, that stuff sure looks nice. I haven't got that yet, and you know, being as I don't do the work for other people, I'm not really ever in a hurry to save those couple minutes. So spending $400 or $500 or whatever to save those couple minutes, you know, doesn't seem to be all that logical to me. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and find another. We got him started on there. I'm gonna find another self-tapper to screw the other part down to the carpet. We just need to hold it in place. There's not really any pressure going to be in that at all. I'm gonna find us a screw and I'll be right back. All right, now you can see we got that bracket mounted down there for the gas cable. We got a bracket up there for the brake cable. Now we'll go over here and show you what we're using. So these are the casings. These are the cables. A little bit larger one, that's for the brakes. Small ones for the gas. Get those run. Start them on the driver's side. Start them there. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the tripod. Good afternoon, party people. Bonsai here. It's actually 2 days later. It's Saturday now. Got busy doing other crap with rail hunting today, and that was absolutely worthless. Anyways, I haven't really done too much more. I started this video a few minutes ago actually, but I forgot my microphone again, so now I have done a couple things. Here's what I have done. All I've done, the chords I showed you a few minutes ago in this video, but in reality 2 days ago. Here's your gas pedal. I have ran the cable around through there, bolted on this bracket, and ran it up around and fed that line over to the other side. And the same, I have hooked up the gas pedal. So both of these are run by cable. The pulleys across that now. All I have to do is tighten up a few of the bolts. We can go over to the other side. So now, as far as the car is concerned, we have everything hooked up on this side. I will see you when we get back over to the other side here momentarily. Hey guys, I'm back. All right, these cables in every vehicle. When you buy these kits, you get they give you a long cable, and you basically cut it to your specific need. These cables for this, there's not much distance. This isn't that wide of a vehicle. So I took a pair of pliers and I scored the rubber part of the casing of these. And so I'm going to use this die grinder and cut them off while you guys listen to a few original tunes. Anyways, so yeah, we'll get to it. Here we go. Alright guys, what happened is this cable has this little plastic case on the inside of it. When I used the little cut-off wheel there, it heated up the inside and it shrunk it so I couldn't get the cable to go through. So I cut it off. Then I took a pair of pliers and I wound off a couple of the outside metal casing till I could get a hold of the plastic inner piece. I can see a little bit of the cable sticking out of it. So now I'm going to take my razor blade and just trim this casing back, the plastic part, so that way the center can slide in there freely. And we should be in business. I actually used the same razor blade last night. The front of this thing had the clear coat was peeling on it, to where I suppose maybe it's had a hood put on it or something like that, because I could actually take a razor blade and get up underneath of it and I took a razor blade and I cut the clear off the entire hood last night. Doesn't that sound like an exciting Friday night? I tell you, it was great. Now we got our plastic piece, we got our cable. I'll just put this little bugger off. Basically what we're going to do now is we're running out of daylight. Isn't that great? Alright. I'm going to get us a light. So we're going to finish this. So get this video done, on to the next thing. Alright, got us a little bit of light. Get this out of the way, we should be done with that. Basically all we got to do now is feed our cables. Here's a gas pedal. I'll set it down. Get my cable. And run through this pulley. Sometimes this stuff isn't the easiest to do, just to get a hold of everything. You know, one of the most exciting things about doing this stuff is you get, I mean, anytime you can do something to a car underneath the dash, I mean, it is almost guaranteed to be a good time. So here's the getting upside down part I was talking about. Get your cable right in. You've got your pulley. Oh. Now, run your cable out to your brackets. Ah. And here's where you hope that your cable that you have stuck in there is long enough to do what you need. Otherwise, you'll have to go get another one. I think in this case we are good. All right. Get you stopped in here, so maybe I can get you in here a little better so you can see what's going on. How much of this you can see. Here we have our gas pedal, we have our fuel cable, we have our brake cable run up to the brakes. Here, that's not going to, well, as we get this done, we're going to stick this, we'll get this cable up here underneath this carpet. We'll go ahead and do that right now. So it won't be interfering with anything. Hey, and having the tripod here, that makes this even less room. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me and watching this stuff. Listening to the tunes, which, you know, that's just as important to me as anything else. So I want to share some of this music. There we go, that keeps that hid. And here, this bracket right here, this is what we're going to hook this cable to. These things are pretty neat. Just run them in here. Let's see, we're going to have to get this guy bolted down. See, it takes a couple 13mm wrenches. Let's tighten that down. Then you hit your tripod. Hope you guys like that little ride. I don't know what you're seeing. Because they definitely don't build, you know, the front of a car underneath the dash. Filming YouTube videos was not on their minds. They don't intend to ever do, probably install brakes underneath the dash. But that is what we are doing. I think that's good enough for a test. We'll probably have to change it again. Oh, I believe this guy's a 14. Yes, he is. Be right back. All right, guys, what we got going on? I'm gonna attach this baby. We have to drill holes in our gas pedal. So we want to come straight up. There the gas pedal is. Well, that's a shame that that's right there. Well, 2 holes is 2 holes, right? Feed it up to one side. Hope we can get lucky enough to hit the hole, right? Now, there we go. We are up. And I'm pulling him up here. We'll run it back down to the other side. It'd be nice if I could get that in the other side. It'll make this deal a lot easier. These kits, they come with a little square box with a couple holes in it. I did not have that. I looked through an auction box that I recently got, and this little guy was in there. All right. So we look over here and see. Oh, sorry about that. All right, guys, you can see I got the brake pedal. It's set about that high off the floor. Kind of like where that's at. I might raise it up just a little bit more. It's now dark outside, people. Looks like we got a storm coming in. So we got a little deal here. Just gonna get that cable adjusted a little bit. So pull that a little bit tighter. Slide these guys up. Made her finger tight. And all we have to do is loosen these screws. But maybe I'm overcautious. They only give you the one little piece with the kit. I always like to buy these little clamps like that. I figured, you know, double protection is always better. So I'm going to add him there. The thing I like about this kit, you know, if you ever stop running mail or whatever, you can, you know, pull this stuff back out of the car. And you basically, you know, other than a few holes, if you have to drill a few holes in the floor, you can put a little silicone in there, if that be the case. And the right-hand drive things with the steering wheel and whatnot, the full conversion and stuff, it's like a couple $1,000. I don't like to have more than a couple $1,000s in the vehicle. You know, the driving part of it. I definitely don't want to sink another $2,000 to have a steering wheel. What I use is the steering wheel knob, like a tractor knob or whatever. Some people call it a suicide knob. You know, but most time, you know, you're delivering the mail, you have your emergency flashers on, and you're kind of providing an emergency service. And, you know, you have a placard on the side of your vehicle saying that you're a mail person, and you're going 15 miles an hour. So having the suicide knob isn't really all that big of a deal, I don't think. But I ain't gonna make you sit through the final tuning. We got him pretty good. After we're done, you know, I make sure this is all adjusted. I like to leave the cable long so that if you want to put this thing in another vehicle, that you can do that. But I'm probably not going to leave it that long, so I'll use the cutoff tool. Anyways, now we're going to attach our brake cable. We'll get a hold of him. We'll run it through one of these guys here. See, our cable's a little bit frayed. You only have to do this twice though, so we should be able to get through it. It's only poking our fingers 2 or 3 times. Get that. Wrap him up around one side of this washer on the inside. Has a groove. Start this guy on one side and wrap him around and hold him. Now we're gonna feed the end of this back to the metal thing. Here's where probably we're gonna hook ourselves, because I can see a wire strand sticking out. Now maybe we'll try to do that first. All right. And taking my die grinder there and cutting the end of this cable. I got the cable run through there. Let's take the nut off now. Get this. Get my little loop. Put my little loop in place. Let's see, I want the cable to be a little bit tighter. So one side, then shove the other one up. And put your bolt back in. There. Oh. Get that guy shoved in there. Put your nut on there. You start it back up. So I'm gonna tighten that up. And once both sides of this are locked in here, and it kind of holds it in place. I gotta get a 14 millimeter. I'll be right back. All right, I finally got this fed through there the way that it's supposed to be. I'll take these pliers, lightly smash this thing with them, because they want you to just really crimp it, really crank on it. Just as soon crash it to hold it. And I'm going to take another one of these little brackets. I don't know what they, cable clamps, cable stops, I don't know what exactly you call them. So you're going to put him on the other one. You come on here and run him around. So we have 3 things holding this brake cable in place. Because I'd rather be extra cautious than half-ass. Because, well, you know, if you're driving on the other side of the car and then all of a sudden you don't have any brakes, well, that's not any good. And like this vehicle, if the brakes are over here, you know, the emergency brakes on the driver's side of this car, because they never intended this mail thing to happen. You know, so if you have to do something that's a little bit dangerous, you want to make sure it's as safe as you can. But anyways, I'm going to tighten these cables down, then I'll be back with you again. And if the sun's out again, it's because it's a different day. I hooked the pedal up, and with the bracket, the way this thing is made, the bracket at most could sit right about here. Which you can see at the direction of that pulley, like I was talking about earlier, it was the wrong direction. And I kind of have a hole down here, so mounting this pulley down here would kind of be a hassle. Basically what I need is for this pulley to run out here to this cable. You see, that would be right around there. That would pretty much be a straight pull. But how this is made here, it's too wide to allow the bracket to bolt up, rather than cut new bracket and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to take an angle grinder and I'm going to grind that off so the bracket fits. That seems like the smart thing to do. So anyways, I'm going to get rolling doing that. All right, guys, I set this up underneath of here just to help the sparks. I tried it out just for a second to see where the sparks are going to go. I think we're all right. So anyways, I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to this grinder, so enjoy this tune. We'll give you a little time lapse, and yeah, have a rockin' Sabbath, people. Hope you guys like the song. Yeah, so anyways, you see, so that sucks. So I'll be back with you here after we get that fit. And with that, see, you have the cable run. It's running right back to the pulley. I haven't tried it yet. I just finished doing this. I don't know whether it's another 15 minutes. I went inside. But yeah, so anyways, you've got to skip that action. But anyway, here's what we have. I'm gonna now I gotta find the nut and get that put back on. And here's why, when we first put the cable on, we didn't crimp it shut like they tell you to. But this is because I'm using the cable, so things are just different. So since I moved this bracket up here, that made this cable longer. And as you can see, we've got quite a bit of, got a good bit more slack in it. So now what we have to do is we have to shorten the cable. See, that's how good that nut is or this washer, or whatever you spacer, whatever you call it, is it whole, you know, it's actually stuck on there. So we're gonna have to get that out. And so we're gonna pull on our cable side. And then pull. Oh, yeah, this is a pain in the ass. I'll be back when we get this on. Hey, it's a little bit later. I've got a little bit more done. Show you what's going on here. All right. We got our cables ran. They got a pretty good feel to them. I'd take an angle grinder and cut that back a little bit. So I hope it'll fit back in here. We're getting our trim all situated. All right, I think that'll work. Got a couple screws will run into the ground. And yeah, I'll show what we got going on the other side. Thank you for hanging in with me. I hope you guys are having a good day. And remember to like and subscribe. Even if you only like the music, people are taking the time to send it to me. I want to share it with you. In the process of sharing it with you, we learn something about each other, right? That's kind of important. I don't know what you're learning from me, but I hope it's something. It's a nice day today. Here's what we got going on here. Oh, we got our pedals on this side. We got a brake pedal on this side. Watch, it's kind of like magic. All right. Let's see. What did we do with the key? All right, guys, it's a little bit later. You can hear the keys in the ignition. We're gonna do stuff soon. Let's see what we got. We're gonna get in. We lost my microphone, so I had to go get the other one. Fortunately, it comes with two, so we're all testing. We're also testing right now. We got a brake pedal there. We got a brake pedal over here. Oh, bad battery connection. It's one of the other things we got to fix. I just want to get it started. I was just gonna try to. We gotta take this. I'm gonna take the bolt off and take this little plastic piece out. I just want to get a good enough connection to start the thing. It's closer, right? Alright. I added a little bit of oil to this. I have no idea how old oil it is. But next thing we're going to do, we're going to give it a test drive. Fuck, let's give it a test drive right now. I don't know how much gas is in it. I checked the water, that was good. Oh, here's our hood. We'll be addressing that here in the next few days. A little test here. Oh, it's not exciting. Oh, we feel we got brakes. Oh, Alright, still, we're going to finish off. I'm going to attach this. I'll trade these parts out. And this is my fancy steering wheel thing so we can run the turn signals and whatnot. We're not mess with that right now. We are in reverse. Oh. Backing out into traffic. Oh, and here comes traffic. So I gotta get out of their way. This thing has not run for a while. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to drive this girl for a while. She's got flat spots on her tires. And people had it. Well, I guess it has all new tires on it. Maybe we just need to get the rotors and stuff run in and stuff. Sounds nice and beepy. I suppose that's the seatbelt thing. We'll be unhooking that. This thing seems to run alright. We'll give him a bath, so we're gonna park it here today. Alright guys. And with that we have a functioning brake system on the passenger side of the vehicle. That's all we're going to do with today. With that, I'm going to end it. I'm going to edit. I don't know how long it's going to be. Hope you guys enjoyed the music. Like, subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.